Hey guys, Williams Reviews here, and today I'm starting my stop motion tutorial series. This will be part one. Basically, I'll be going over just the app today. I use Stop Motion Studio. I did get the paid version for like $4.99, I think it was at the time. You don't have to get the paid version, but I do recommend it. It gives you a lot more features. But, the free version is just as good. You can still make good stop motions with it. Now, I don't exactly remember what you do and don't have on the free version, but um, I'll just be going over the basics, so I'm not going to go into all the editing stuff just yet. Now, before I actually start talking about the app, I'm going to talk about stop motion in general and what you're going to basically expect from making stop motions. I know a lot of people just want to get into it and start making really good stop motions like right off the bat without any practice. And I'm just going to say this now, that's not going to happen. You got to take the time to learn everything and find the style that you like. It took me a couple years before I even started being pretty good at it. So, like, the most viewed stop motion I have still isn't really even that good. It's like you could definitely see the figures moving and stuff, but it's very, how do I say this? It's not, it's not very smooth. That's what I can say. It's not very smooth. In this video though, I will be showing you some of my stop motions on here, and I will actually hit new movie and start one and go over the stuff inside there and try to help you guys get familiar with this. Now, stop motion does take a lot of patience, so if you're not very good with patience, I don't recommend starting a stop motion. I mean, you can, but you don't want to rush these. It takes time to get a good stop motion. Now, we're going to start talking about the actual app itself now, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this app. So the first thing we're going to start off with is I'm basically just going to go to my most recent stop motion, which is my Bruticus video. And basically what you can see is all of these are just pictures, okay? You can see all the pictures down here, and you can actually scroll through them. I have 231 photos on this, and this may not look smooth right now as it's going like this, but I'm just going through each photo. If I just hit play here, it'll go through the actual stop motion itself. I'm not going to play all of it, but you kind of get the point, I hope. But anyways, you definitely want to get to know the app before you start making stop motions. So we're going to go over everything on this front page right here. And then later on, we'll go over the inside when you're taking photos and stuff. So on here, what you can do if you're not sure what these mean is you got this help button. You can press that, and it shows everything right there. But it doesn't actually help too much. I'll be going over everything in detail on like the help button. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to hit the settings button. And in here, it brings up some settings, like the speed of the stop motion. Like I have it on 11. If I were to bring it over to 4 and then hit play, that would really make it like it wouldn't be smooth anymore. I had it on 11, so if I brought it over to, let's say, not 20, and then I hit play, then it would just be really fast. Honestly, I kind of like that. I'm not going to keep it like that because 11's what I'm learning with. but did not mean to do that. But basically, you can control your speed, and you will want to go through and experiment with this. I will say this is important to remember, the higher the speed, the more pictures you're going to need. Like if you have it on 20, you're going to need a lot of pictures. Next, if we come over to here, this basically means you can put the black bars in there to kind of cut off some of the screen. I don't use that at all. I never got into this either, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can, it just changes some stuff like backgrounds. And to be honest, like I said, I haven't got into this stuff, so I don't know much about the backgrounds in this app, so I'm not going to use any of them. But I might mess around with that later on and try to figure it out. Filters, you can just change the filters. I'm not going to go through every filter here, but I do know you don't have some of these filters in the free version. 4K, you can select your quality, SD, HD, HQ, 4K. My app will just absolutely crash on 4K. Every time I've tried, it crashes on 4K. So I don't use it. And then over here, you can actually I've never used that, so I think it just has playback, so I guess it's playback. Like I said, never used it, so sorry about that. And then I forgot that little button there, but fade. Basically, fade in and out. Fade in from back or black, and fade out to black. But I don't use those either. So with that out of the way, if you come over here and you hit this button here, you can add images in, you can make title and credits, you can actually add audio, you can clip stuff, and you got the file. When you add an image, I actually haven't used this one in a while, but you just kind of select your image. I'm not going to actually do that because I don't want to mess up my stop motion right now. But, yeah, you can do it if you really want to. Next up, we have that little microphone up here that just adds sound. Basically, what you do is you select the photo you would want sound on. Like, let's say I was going to do a transformation noise from here to the end. Well, you would hit this, record, and then transformation noise. I don't even care. And then, oh, I just realized my sound is off, so that's not going to actually come up. Sorry about that. So, it does work, though. I've done it on mine. You can look at my other stop motions. I've definitely gotten it to work. So I just have my sound off, and I can't actually get to my button right now because it's under the, you can kind of see it right there. All right, moving on to this side. This allows you to take photos. We're not going to get into that. That's undo. And then this is just to play it. So basically that's it for that. We're going to go out of this. And I'm going to show you guys how to create new stop motions and just show you how to create a new stop motion. You would hit new movie and it brings this up. It's just the same page, but different. You can go into here, go over to speed, select your speed. I recommend starting out on a lower speed than me. Maybe try 5, 6, or 7, but don't take too many photos. the lesser the speed, the less photos you need, really. I don't know why I set that. I'm not doing anything. But anyways, let's get into this right here. All right, here we have the next part of the actual stop motion studio. Sorry if I'm not very good at this. This is my first time ever making a tutorial series. I'll try to get better, I promise. But anyways, what you can do is, that right there is a timer. I don't think I actually got that. It's that little clock right there. If you press it, it's a timer. You can set it to count down before it takes a picture. I never use that, but you can experiment with it if you want to. This takes you completely out of the menu like that. Down here, if you click on this, now this is something my app does. It puts my focus at 18, and I don't like it. I can't figure out why. I think it's bugged, but you don't typically want to have your focus on 18. Just keep it all the way at 0. I'll show you why. We'll take a picture like that, and then we'll put it at 18. Now, if we go back, that's clear, fuzzy. Clear, that's actually a very bad example. Okay, yeah, sorry, that's kind of a bad example, but just trust me, it's not worth keeping it on 18. So, let's go over some of the features on this screen. Also, I'm recording with an iPad and it's very heavy for holding it with one hand, so I'm sorry about the shaky camera. I'll try to find my second part of my other tripod, so I can do this more steadily when I do my actual stop motions. But for now, I'm kind of trying to hold an iPad with one hand. So if we come to here, you can, if you have multiple cameras, you can use camera 1, 2, and 3. You can use a remote camera. I don't do any of that. I just use my camera. Going over to this, you can use manual focus and exposure. This is, yeah, that doesn't work right. Okay, there. I can't click on those, but basically you have all of these settings. You can go through them. Here, you know what, I'll just do it. This continuously auto adjust focus and exposure, lock focus and exposure, but I use that. Next, if we go over to here, white balance is something I'm guaranteed, I'm not guaranteed, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't have that in the free version. I don't touch that, so I don't know much about it, but it's not very important either. That's focus. Now, this ISO, I don't know what it stands for, so don't ask me, but basically it brightens it up and darkens it up. So you can just go through and manually figure out what you want. Then shutter kind of does the same thing, but it not at the same time it doesn't. You just have to play around with these. I'm not an expert on this, but if you just play around with them in your lighting, like with using your, like when you're starting your stop motion and you start out with your lighting, I do recommend to just play around with this and get it till it looks pretty good. Now this is your zoom. You can zoom in and out. It's really helpful if your figures are a bit far away. And then this is for green screen. I don't do green screens. I've never used a green screen. I just don't have room for one, so I can't help you with that. Then this just rotates the screen and stuff, so you can just flip horizontally, flip vertical, 180 rotated. So that's everything for that right there. And then you still have your play button, of course. Now let's move over to here. This is pretty important. You can change whether you want 1 frame, 3 frame, and 5 frame, I think it is. Yeah, 1, 3, 5 frames. I always keep it at 1. And then this, here, I'll show you what that does. We're going to slightly move the camera, and you can see that. And basically, that's from the original photo. This is your real object. That's from the photo. And if you scroll this up, you can completely get rid of that. Or if you scroll it down, you'll get rid of the real photo into the new one. You can just balance it out. That's very helpful because when you're moving your figures, and it'll keep the old photo so where you can actually see where your figure was. So if you accidentally knock them over or something, you can easily stand them back up into the exact place. And I've done it many times. Nobody can tell from my stop motion. So I'm not afraid to admit my mistakes. But down here, you can have a grid. I don't use the grid. So that's basically it for that part. I've basically gone over everything there is for the main parts. Oh wait, no. This takes your picture. I do have to include that because, you know, this is a stop motion tutorial. But that takes pictures. Now, let's go into here. You can click on the photo out here. I actually needed photos to go over this, but you have all of this. You can insert the camera there. So if you mess up and you need to go back, you can insert the camera and start taking pictures back from the beginning or halfway through your stop motion. You can pause. You can do audio that way. You can actually upload audio, not just record it. You can actually upload it. Editing, I'll do a completely separate video for, especially erase, select, cut, copy, paste, all of that. You should know what that is. And delete, of course. So I will show you what the editing looks like, but I'm not going to go over everything in detail because I'll go over that later on in a different video. Because if I added editing into this would take way too long. But yeah. Sorry about that. There's not really much left to go over in the app. I'm just going to go out of this and I'll show you guys how to import your videos or save your videos to your phone in a different video as well, like when we actually have a stop motion. So I think that's going to be really the end of it for this video. I will do this one thing here, and I will show you guys a stop motion that I was doing, but it actually broke. One of my figures actually broke, so that killed the stop motion right then and there. Where is it? I think this is it. No. There it is. So this is kind of like a behind the scenes of the stop motion you never got to see. And I'm going to redo this one eventually, but and right there, Starscream broke as I was transforming him. This is going to be the forest fight, and I'm going to redo this. I am going to redo this. It's going to look a lot better. I have a new tripod, which is actually the one I'm using right now. It's a Winchester tripod. but I got it at Goodwill, so it works really well. I'm going to redo it. I know Grindor was sitting down when he transformed. In my next stop motion, when I end up redoing this eventually, he will fly in because I just learned how to do that. But that's really going to be it for this video. I appreciate you watching. If there's anything you guys want me to go over in the next video, because it will be about actually doing a stop motion, moving the figures and stuff, just comment down below and I'll take suggestions. But thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you understand this app. And until next time, goodbye.